Hello everyone, today we are going to discuss about the fracture of the neck of the femur. So there are three classifications which are there. The first classification is the anatomical. So the anatomical classification is based on the anatomical location of the fracture. So this can be classified into subcapital, transcervical and the basal. So we will be looking into this. What is subcapital? सबकपाइटल का मतलब है द फ्रैक्चर विच इज जस्ट बिलो द हेड. सो दिस इज अ हेड विच इज प्रेजेंट and the fracture which is just below the head is considered as subcapital. So transcervical is the next one. So transcervical in which the fracture is in the middle of the neck. See, the fracture which is in the middle of the neck is called as transcervical, and the fracture which is at the base of the neck, it is called as basicervical or basal. So in anatomical classification, it can be classified as subcapital, transcervical and basal. So one point which you need to remember over here is that the more proximally the fracture is located, the more worse is the prognosis. So the fracture which is located more proximally, the worse will be its prognosis. Moving towards the next classification, which is called as Pauwel's classification. So Pauwel's classification is based on the angle of inclination of the fracture in relation to the horizontal plane. So if suppose I draw here the femur, so see, this is the head and this is the neck and this is the shaft. So if suppose the fracture is like this, so it is based on the angle of inclination. So this is a horizontal plane suppose, and this is the angle of inclination. So this is based on the angle of inclination of the fracture which is in relation to the horizontal plane, and it can be divided into 30 degree, 50 degree and 70 degree. So the more the angle, the more will be the unstable the fracture and the worse will be the prognosis. That means in 70 degree, there will be worst prognosis. Why? Because it will be the most unstable fracture. See, here you can see this will be first, this is second and this is third one. So here the angle is 30 degree, which means this will be less unstable. And here it is 50 degree, and the last one is called as last one is the 70 degree angle. So this will be the most unstable. This is the most unstable and the prognosis will be also worse. So the Pauwel's classification, it is based on the angle of inclination to the fracture in relation to the horizontal plane. Next classification is Gardner's classification, which is based on the degree of the displacement of the femur. So there are four stages which are present. The stage 1 in which there is an incomplete fracture. But in case of the second, third and fourth, there is a complete fracture which is present. So how can you differentiate between second, third and fourth? So you can differentiate based on the fracture displacement. In second stage, there is a complete fracture, but it is undisplaced. In third, the fracture is complete, but it is partially displaced. And in fourth, there is a complete fracture, but it is fully displaced. So stage 1 in which it is incomplete, second one, third one and fourth one, it is complete, but in second one it is complete but undisplaced, and third one is partially displaced, and fourth one is fully displaced. If suppose I draw it like this, the femur, so you can see the first one is incomplete fracture. In second, third and fourth, it is a complete fracture like this. So this is the first one, and this is second, third and fourth in which there is a complete fracture which is present. In first, so there is also bending of the trabeculae which are present. The trabeculae which are present between the acetabulum head and the neck of the femur, there is a bending which is noted in the first stage. In second stage, there is a break in the trabeculae between the head and the neck of the femur. Here in second, the trabeculae are aligned without significant displacement. So the trabeculae are aligned without significant displacement in case of the stage 2. But there is a break in the trabeculae between the head and the neck of the femur. So, but the trabeculae are aligned. In third, there is a complete displacement, or all the trabeculae which are present, all the three sets of the trabeculae which are out of alignment. Here you can see the trabeculae between the acetabulum and the head of the femur is lost, and also the trabeculae between the head of the femur and the neck of the femur is also lost. So all the three sets of the alignment is out of, so all the three sets of the trabeculae are out of alignment in case of the third stage. Fourth stage, in which there is, you can see that the trabeculae between the acetabulum and the head of the femur is intact, but the trabeculae, there is a break of the trabeculae between the head and the neck of the femur, and also they are out of alignment. They are not aligned. That is the head and the neck of the femur. The trabeculae which are present between the head and the neck of the femur are out of alignment, but the trabeculae between the acetabulum and the head of the femurs are intact. So first stage, there is only banding which is present between the trabeculae, and it is incomplete. It is also known as abducted or impacted fracture. Stage 1. Stage 2, there is no displacement which is present, but along with that it is a complete fracture. Here you can see it's a complete fracture, but there is no displacement. The trabeculae which are present between the acetabulum's head and the neck of the femur, they are also aligned. In third stage, all the three sets of the trabeculae which are present, they are out of alignment. They are not aligned properly. They are out of alignment. But in the fourth stage, you should remember that the acetabular and the head of the femur, the trabecular alignment is present, but the head of the femur and the neck of the femur, the trabecular alignment which is present, it is not there. It is out of alignment. If my video was informative to you, then please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.